Welcome to Splunk Enterprise Security session for today. The speaker for today's session is Mr. Navid. During the session, if you have any questions, I request you please put them in the Q&A tab on the left, and they'll be answered at the end of the session. Navid, over to you, please.
Thank you, Chanakya. Hello, guys. My name is Naveed, and I am the pre-sales consultant for Enterprise Security in Redington Gulf. And I've been working on Splunk since the last 2 years. And today's topic is about Splunk Enterprise Security, which is analytics-driven SIEM from Splunk Enterprise. Okay. So in today's session, we'll be talking about how legacy SIEMs have a lot of challenges and how these challenges can be overcome by an intelligent and analytics-driven SIEM. Few of the use cases and customer success stories, and how you can easily go for a trial for this solution. So the common security challenges that I believe everyone nowadays faces when it comes to SOC solution or security operations are the following. So the dwell time, as you can see, the average dwell time is 101 days. Dwell time is actually the time, the interval of time or the time spent between the first indication that you see of an attack in your network and the time it takes to resolve that incident. Okay? So on an average, it is 101 days, but it can studies have shown that it can go from less than a week to around 2,000 days, depending upon the size of the team and the expertise that a SOC team has and the criticality of the severity of the attack. And on an average, by a SOC team, the number of tools which are used is 25 to 30 tools. So these tools, they are effective, but the challenge here is that they cannot give you an overall picture of what is happening. They have different consoles, they have different dashboards, and moreover, they provide you with disparate data or in bits and pieces about what is happening or what has happened when it comes to an incident. Skills needed definitely. So as the number of tools increase to manage your security posture of an organization, the expertise also needed is high. So and there is a challenge when it comes to security operations skill set, because the skill set requires multiple knowledge of multiple technologies, multiple techniques and procedures and and compliance regulations. So the skill set is difficult to find, and moreover, if you have a well-built SOC team, even the experts, because of the challenges that they are facing, they find themselves in a situation where they are not able to develop themselves in terms of efficiency. So they tend to move on from the existing organization to an organization which can help them develop in their career. And scalability, yeah. So nowadays, if you see that the attacks are not like before, simple, or I would not say simple, rather basic file-based attacks. They have become more advanced and sophisticated. So when I say advanced and sophisticated, they follow multi-staged and well-planned and executed kind of attacks, advanced persistent threats. This is what they are called, which follows MITRE framework. If you're aware of MITRE framework, you must be knowing that there are multiple stages when you have to execute an APT. It starts from reconnaissance, which is basically identity theft of any of the valuable employee of an organization. Then weaponization, which involves multiple methods to intrude the network using that identity, that hijacked identity. Then the delivery, wherein you basically deliver of user delivery method like phishing email or farming websites, or even physical devices like USB devices to get into one of the machines in the network. And then exploitation, so exploiting that machine thoroughly, so that basically using existing vulnerabilities or finding zero-day vulnerabilities to establish foothold in that machine, and then lateral movement, or basically command and control, where one machine now gets access to the attacker's infrastructure. So basically, when one machine is hijacked completely by the attacker, he will try to spread laterally to find out sensitive information in your endpoints, in your network's endpoints, or finding some critical server which has sensitive data about the organization, with an intent to compromise the network, or compromise that server, or spoil the harm the reputation of an organization in terms of business or infrastructure. And finally, action on objectives, executing the goal, wherein, like I said, it basically involves spoiling the reputation of the organization, like defacing the website, or bringing the network down, or harming the customer data, etc. In the end, it basically affects the business of the organization. So these are the common challenges which legacy SIEM solutions are able to face, but they're not able to overcome them. So when we talk about SIEMs are the foundation of SOCs, Security Operations Center. SIEM stands for Security Information Event Management. They basically analyze security and network data and provide you with real-time analysis, or rather, when it comes to legacy, it just provides you with a real-time investigation or incident response, threat management, forensics, and regulatory compliance. So they're not intelligent enough to understand the behavior of an attack. They are just rule-based, and they look into just the security log data and try to give you whatever they can find which is unknown, or which is known. Sorry. SIEMs are used to monitor and detect attacks, and provide you with basic compliance and regulatory achievement. Where the legacy systems fail to overcome these challenges are these following points, where they only look into the security data type, or only security data from security devices, like mainly firewall and antivirus, or EDR nowadays. And they fail to understand or give you an overall picture of what has been impacted. So that needs the capability to collect all security relevant data, be it from security devices or non-security devices, wherein the non-security devices could be your Active Directory, your asset inventory, your user repository, like your HR database. Also, sometimes it can be helpful in identifying the user behavior. What else? So apart from the traditional security data types, you also need access to, or you need the capability to ingest all data. So when this is called machine data, I would say, not just traditional security data, overall data of your organization, which can be looked in terms of, or which can be looked from the lens of security analytics. Now, these legacy SIEM solutions, they have they're not capable of ingesting all type of data. They're only capable of ingesting security log data. Moreover, because of the capability, or lack of capability to do analytics, wherein you need to have the understanding of what are the different data types, how to ingest them, and look into the overall picture, they lack the capability of investigation, or rather speed, I would say. So this leads to another challenge, where because of the speed, they're not able to scale, and they're unstable. So nowadays everything is digital, right? Everything is digital. So everything is driven by machines and data. So now, if you see, big data has evolved. So the traditional legacy SIEM solutions, they are incapable or unstable, because they cannot support the amount of data that is being ingested, or they're capable of. So the analytics driven solutions, or SIEM solutions, they are capable of supporting big data. So which scales from not just 1 GB of data analytics per day to, it can all the way, it can go to 100 GB, or even 1 terabyte. And nowadays, we have even cases where even 1 petabytes of data analytics is needed. So in short, legacy SIEM solutions, they're not capable of big data analytics. And now even they are being acquired by the new vendors which are supporting analytics driven approach. So the customers which have legacy SIEM solutions, they face the challenge of using their existing technology to find out or to investigate old attacks or not the sophisticated and advanced ones. That is one challenge. So they have to live with that. So with the end of life solutions, or even if they try to use the existing solution, or even the vendor tries to support them but with new content and with development, the roadmap is uncertain. So there's no sure feature or future of what capabilities it will reach to support the advanced analytics driven approach. And closed ecosystem, yeah. So now the integration, or I would say any solution that an organization is purchasing, they want to have they want to have support with the existing infrastructure. So that solution should be easily integrated to the existing ecosystem, which means if you are going for a SIEM solution, it should be easily integratable with the firewalls, with the endpoint security, with the threat intel solutions, with sandboxing technologies which are advanced and which are which are more complex to work with. But if the integration is simple, the workflow becomes easy. So that is again a challenge. The old or legacy solutions, they don't support new technologies. Moreover, even if they try to use connectors to ingest data with whatever capable data sources they support, they're not smart enough to to support the different data types. Inflexible deployment options here. Most of the legacy solutions, they support hardware, and big data infrastructure is not capable, or I wouldn't say it is not. Whatever solution supports big data, they should not limit themselves to hardware. They should support a scalable infrastructure like file system, non-traditional or no SQL databases. Traditional SIEM solutions, they support RDBMS and hardware solutions, which give them the cap on the flexibility and scalability. So nowadays, organizations are moving to cloud, and they should approve, and they are adopting the cloud approach. So the new solutions should support on-prem as well as on cloud solution or capability or deployment infrastructure. So analytics-driven SIEM, from Splunk, it basically provides you with, with the capability to overcome these challenges. So it supports big data. It is Splunk Enterprise. If you have heard, it is called platform for machine data. So it supports, big data approach. It can ingest data from any data source. So if you have seen our or any of our presentations or webinars, Splunk is called platform for machine data, and we can ingest any data from any data source and in any volume. So that's the unique point or unique feature of Splunk. Secondly, or third point, I would say, when it comes to investigation, they support all the steps or all the functions that is needed in analytics driven approach, where they monitor all type of data, not just security data, security relevant data, I would say, and then detect known and unknown types of attacks, known because of the analytics driven approach, and unknown, I will talk about it. It is based upon machine learning and artificial intelligence. Investigate, yeah. So they don't just depend upon the a single logged data type. Or security relevant data, or security type of data and correlation rules, but they also understand they learn about the behavior of attacks and users and entities, and finally respond. So analytics driven SIEM, they try to offload the response or action part in an incident investigation or incident response, partially or fully, based upon scripts. So they try to automate the actions rather than admins or analysts doing it manually. They try to analytics driven SIEM gives them the capability to, and the admins and analysts the capability to work on the platform and automate it. So this helps you with prioritizing the incidents rather than analysts and admins working on the mundane tasks or the bulky tasks of investigating the same kind of incidents, but in huge volume, which come in huge volume. So phishing emails or phishing attacks, for example, they are the most common incidents that happen nowadays. So most of the analysts at L1, they keep themselves busy by analyzing the same incident or same type of incident, but which are in bulk. So the whole day or even week is gone in clearing off the incidents which are bulky, and they don't get time to work on the critical incidents or even highly severe incidents, which are few in number, but they are quite important. So this, they're not able to prioritize the incidents. They're not able to respond in timely manner or with a proper process, and this affects the overall efficiency of the SOC team, which is very, very important. I would say the technology of automation, the technology of analytics, it came to basically improve the operational efficiency of a SOC team. So with Splunk, there are two components. Now, I would like to tell you that Splunk's analytics-driven SIEM is use case based, or they follow use case based approach, wherein they try to cover all the known use cases with technology and all the unknown use cases, or the surprises with I would say with machine learning and AI. So on the left, you can see Splunk Investigate or Splunk Enterprise Security, which has the capability to aggregate the logs from any data source, any of any data type and in any volume. They work based upon the correlation rules, statistical analysis, and again the rules which can be user defined for known types of attacks, and provide you with the capability to run ad hoc searches and with pre-built dashboards and reports for the known type of attacks. Yeah. So Splunk Enterprise has the capability to work with analytics-driven approach. When I say analytics-driven approach, we talk about all the strengths or all the the capabilities which we use to overcome the challenges and provide you with the capability to easily detect and and speedy investigations of known attacks. Whereas when it comes to unknown attacks, where you have to depend upon the behavior, and forming a baseline of what is good and what is bad, which needs learning. And as humans, definitely they can learn, but when it comes to machine, they learn faster. And so using machine learning and AI technologies and big data approach, we can use something called as Splunk user behavior analytics to detect the unknown and focus on the behavior of users and entities rather than just security related data. So on the left, you can see that Splunk Enterprise also detects, investigates, and prevents the known type of attacks, and Splunk user behavior analytics provides you with the machine learning driven approach of detecting, investigating, and preventing the unknown. So Splunk Enterprise Security, like we said, it overcomes the challenges of traditional or legacy SIEM solutions by detecting advanced threats, the multi-stage attacks. It enriches, the investigation or with context. Yeah. So when I say context, it means, what is context basically? Context is giving more, more idea of, or giving more value to the detection. Yeah. So if you are just able to detect a file in one endpoint, and if you don't know from where it came, what kind of activity it did, and what impact it has done, and where it has spread, you will not be able to secure your network or the overall security posture of your organization. You will be able to only isolate and remediate that one endpoint. So context is giving an overall picture of with valuable information of what has happened. So Splunk Enterprise Security, as it follows a big data approach, it collects data from all the data sources and of all the data types of an organization. It gives you a 360-degree visibility, about the point of entry, the impact, and the point of exit if the attack has become a breach. Investigation, yes. So it provides you with a platform, or with, when I say platform, Splunk Enterprise Security is an app which is on Splunk Enterprise platform. So Splunk Enterprise is a platform for machine data. Splunk Enterprise Security is a SIEM solution that uses that platform to analyze the machine data. So it gives you an overall picture. It gives you pre-built reports, dashboards, and an investigation panel to convert the events which are detected to incidents, and work on it as if it's a ticket or a case. And it provides the capability for all the analysts and admins to work on it in a hierarchy, interact with each other. Provides I would say a chat room where they can discuss, they can record what has been done at each and every step, so that they keep the forensic report for the future as well. And finally, respond. So when I say respond, Splunk Enterprise Security or any analytics driven SIEM, they are different in response by using automation. So there is something called adaptive response framework in Splunk Enterprise Security, which provides you with script-based capability to integrate with well-known technologies like firewalls, like endpoint security, sandboxing technologies, etc., to provide not, I would not say full-fledged capability, but at least a subset of programmatic-based actions rather than manual actions. For example, the adaptive response framework can disable and enable a firewall rule. It can change the action in a firewall rule from accept to deny based upon the detection. So if there is a URL that needs to be blacklisted, and Splunk Enterprise Security detects that, so it can take a rule-based action using its adaptive response framework on the firewall to enable an existing rule which blocks that URL, or if there is a URL which is allowing that website, it can deny the action in the rule. So this is, I would say, not a full-fledged programmatic automation, but it is a subset of that, because we have another solution called SOAR, which is Phantom, which actually does the automation at a full-fledged level. But still, as Splunk ES, being an analytics-driven SIEM, it has the capability to to offload some of the manual tasks of remediation from the admin to the machine. When we talk about Splunk user behavior analytics, it works in alliance with Splunk Enterprise and Enterprise Security. However, its motive or its goal is to detect unknown threats and anomalous user behavior, and it is powered by machine learning. Okay, so I would not like to go deep into that because that is not the focus of the session. But it uses something called as machine learning toolkit, which uses the same data, the big data or the machine data, and understands it has algorithms which makes it learn what is the normal user activity, what is the normal entity activity. Entity means assets, your corporate assets. It could be any of your assets from desktop, laptop, servers, your security devices, etc. It can formulate a user profile, an entity profile, and understand baseline, or form a baseline to understand what is a normal activity, what is an anomalous activity, and what is good behavior, what is bad behavior. So in alliance with Splunk Enterprise Security, it provides you with the with a solution to cater to the requirement of user and entity behavior analytics. So if you are following Gartner, they have a new quadrant called user and or a report for this tech category of security analytics, which is user and entity UEBA. Excuse me, user and entity behavior analytics. So Splunk UBA, it tries to cater to that requirement and provide their customers with the solution for UBA, which is which are like attacks which involves insider threats. So employees of the organization which can pose attack, trusted employees which can turn rogue and pose attack to the organization. Then fraud activity, which involves legitimate credentials but suspicious behavior, and etc. Mainly user and entity behavior based attacks. So if you see, even since last 6 years, Splunk Enterprise Security has been as a leader in Magic Quadrant for SIEM. Moving on to some use cases. With the existing dashboards and reports and I would say work panes where for the admins and analysts to work with, Splunk ES provides you with dashboards to overcome the compliance requirement. So they have got pre-built reports that you can show to your auditors and provide them a high-level view at a glance about the security posture, security controls, and which can help you overcome the compliance requirements of PCI, GDPR, etc. Security monitoring. So there's a dashboard called security posture in Splunk ES, which gives you at a glance again the number of threats or number of attacks happening in terms of the different security domains like network, endpoint, authentication, access. So Splunk Enterprise Security has classified the security infrastructure or security posture into 5 different domains, where it classifies and it categorizes and provides you with a high level information about what kind of attacks are happening in which domain. So network related attacks will be shown in network related attacks, and then endpoint related attacks, the attacks which have reached the target or the end target like endpoints. Those number of attacks will be shown in that. So it provides you an overall picture of the security posture of an organization, or I would say SLA, of how risky you are in terms of security posture. Advanced threat detection. So they have dashboards as well to detect attacks like which use legitimate protocols like DNS and try to manipulate them, and they provide you with the information of the impact. Like in this case, you can see the total number of compromised hosts and users, and determine the scope of user activities, like how many failed logins have happened and on which machines have they happened. And when you click on such an indicator, you drill down into raw information about the entire entry time and the exit time, or the start time and the end time, or and if there is any breach related to that. Incident review, it's a dashboard that can help you to categorize or sort different events into incidents. So incident investigation forensics, as you can see, it uses incident review dashboard, and it will give you a real-time dashboard for that categorizes all the incidents into low, informational, medium, high, and critical type of incidents, and gives you also, when you click on any of the incident, it gives you more context about it. And also you can change the context by adding your custom solutions, like for example, in a phishing email incident, when you click on the incident, you will see all the details about who is the sender, from which email ID it received, on which email server it was received, who was the recipient, what was the IP address of the recipient, and also you can add a workflow action which is custom. You can choose it to be custom. If you have a sandboxing technology, you can integrate Splunk ES with the sandboxing technology and send the attachment to the sandboxing technology. So again, incident review dashboard can be used for for doing the investigations. So when you want to do raw, you look into the raw data and investigate, you can use the same dashboard to dig down into the raw data, because Splunk Enterprise is a platform for machine data. Splunk ES uses the same platform for to look into the machine data on security lens. So it will look into all the machine data with an intent of finding security related information, and it will use the raw data to do the investigation. Whereas SOC automation, as we talked about, adaptive response framework, it is it's a subset of programmatic automation. So you can also take programmatic actions. You can integrate with any incident so if you open any incident in incident review dashboard, you can see that there's an option to take action. So that action part takes the help of adaptive response framework, and you can configure actions like simply sending a notification in the notifications area of Splunk ES, or you can send an email, or you can run a script, or you can even integrate with the tool to take action with the tool. Here, like I explained in the previous slides, a firewall, or sandboxing technology, sending the file to sandboxing technology, taking changing the rule on the firewall, and etc. So, but when when it comes to automation, I would like to tell that there's something called Splunk Phantom, which is a SOAR technology, which is security orchestration and automated response, which has the capability to fully integrate with the SIEM solution and the solutions that give data to the SIEM solutions like firewalls, EDRs, antivirus, IPS, sandboxing technologies, NAC solutions, etc. So the idea here is the SIEM will take data from all of these data sources. It will do the analytics and do the investigation. And when it comes to response part, it will integrate with Phantom, which is a SOAR solution, and SOAR will take again programmatic actions at machine speed, by integrating with the same technologies which ingested the data. So it's like taking request, investigating, and taking automated response using the same data sources. Now here there will be the remediation endpoints. Talking about customer success, we have thousands of customer success stories, but few of them are worth talking. So Aflac Insurance is they used Splunk Enterprise Security as for a unique use case of automating threat intel. Yeah, so they used Splunk ES as their as the brain of their security nerve center or the SOC solution, and they orchestrated threat intel across 20 security technologies sitting within their internal threat intel system. So basically, they integrated all their threat intel sources with Splunk ES, and they used it as a threat intel management system, and they automated their threat hunting and reduced 90% of their security metrics process in just 2 months. So it's more of they made Splunk ES as their brain, to integrate all the threat intel systems and making it more intelligent for their SOC solution. Whereas Nasdaq, it used Splunk ES and overcome the challenges that any traditional or legacy SIEM solutions face by accelerating the time to investigate and detecting unknown and advanced threats. It reduced their mean time to resolution by 50%. So that's why we call Splunk Enterprise Security the analytics-driven SIEM and a proven solution to security operations. So if you're interested, then you can. There are multiple options to go for a trial. You can opt opt for a free sandbox trial, which will provide you with the cloud instance of Splunk Enterprise Security, you have to just visit Splunk website and go for a 15-day sandbox trial, or you can also contact Splunk sales, channel sales, where they will arrange for on-demand or live demo for you. And you can also check out the Splunk SIEM buyer's guide, which can help you with the guidelines and with the best practices that you should follow in order to select an appropriate SIEM for your requirement. That is it. Thank you. If you have any questions, please let me know in the Q&A tab, or you can also email me. I will just post my email address there. So I believe there are no questions. So I'm going to close this session. Thank you very much for joining.